What's good, everyone? Welcome to another LiveWire Sports Media. All right, today I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. Now, since the season started, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, um, Kelsey Mitchell talked about this, I think in her press conference yesterday, about how, when Caitlin came, everybody was trying to get used to her. She's trying to get used to doing. And it kind of like set a precedent of uneasiness because Kelsey Mitchell, she was on the team last year with Leah Boston and Erica Wheeler. And the fact that Kelsey Mitchell was the leading scorer, and this year she's the leading scorer of the team. But, not too much far behind her is her counterpart, the number one draft pick, Caitlin Clark, who's been so far from sensational since her college days at Iowa. And she's the all-time leading scorer because she actually broke Kelsey Plum. She broke Kelsey Mitchell's. And a lot of, hype came in the season with Caitlin Clark. And probably rightfully so, it kind of made feel Kelsey Mitchell a certain way. Then you have a coach in Christy Sides that wanted to change how Caitlin played, but you can't do that. As the season went on, they struggled in the beginning. They showed some glimpse that they could work together. And the one knock on Kelsey Mitchell is she's a ball hog. She looked for her own shot, and she probably felt like she had something to prove to Caitlin, like, hey, this is still my team. You knew you're just coming in. You're not going to just take over. But when you have somebody that's a generation talent like a Caitlin Clark, you really want to kind of navigate your way in, and that falls on the coach. You're supposed to say, "Hey, we got this new girl coming in. She's blah blah blah. It's going to be a transition period. I'm going to put her in a certain position. Kelsey, you're going to have to play a different role this year." And you saw as the season went on, like I said, there was a lot to desire, a lot of questions. The team wasn't clicking. It wasn't really gelling. Then gradually, they was playing 11 games out of 20. They wasn't really getting no practice. And then finally, their schedule slowed down some. They started getting practices in, and then they went on a 4-game winning streak, which the 4-game winning streak allowed them to have 4 players in double figures. I think in that stretch, Kelsey Mitchell was the leading scorer. In that stretch, I think the last game against Seattle, she was the leading scorer. I think she had 22 or 24 points in that stretch. But nevertheless, you started to see a little bit, a lot of hope that can be. Now, I actually was on someone's channel. I can't remember the guy's name. I was on his channel like a few days ago, just before they played the Mercury. And with that being said, they brought up a significant thing about, some of the players on the Fever, and one particularly Kelsey Mitchell. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, like I said, she's been with the team, I think, last year. I don't know about the year before. She's playing into a contract year. Now, you already know when certain players play into a contract year, their level of urgency and their play of their game is a little bit different. It heightens their awareness about, hey, look, I want to get paid, whether if I play for this team, whether if I play for another team. Because at the end of the season, Kelsey Mitchell is an unrestricted free agent or restricted. Yes, she's an unrestricted free agent. So that means she's going to be open market. So this year is kind of like Kelsey Mitchell's audition year. Now, I say that to say this because she's 28 years old. So she's not even 30 yet. She'll be 29 next year. And I do believe there's a chance that the Fever could re-sign her if they don't find somebody of her caliber to replace to be a running mate. Now, it all depends on how well her and Caitlin continue to grow together and be a part of a building franchise. I think, they could be one of the best backcourts in the league. Some starting to call them the Splash Sisters, which I kind of like could see that because they both could shoot deep threes. Now, Kelsey could be streaky at times, but when she gets on and she's hot, she's hot. I do believe her and Caitlin could feed off each other. I think they could grow together. I think they could be beneficial. Now, this video is going to be a kind of like a part 2 because I'm gonna have a video of Caitlin and Leah Boston also of that dynamic dude. So Caitlin has a maturation process with herself that you could compare her with Kelsey Mitchell, and you could compare her with Leah Boston. But nevertheless, Caitlin is the centerpiece to both of them. And I think what I seen last night against the Phoenix Mercury allowed me to further examine. Now, I'm going to show you a clip from the third quarter of Caitlin and Kelsey, how they was able to navigate the run for the Fever to take the lead and to win the game. Because some people say, well, it was Kelsey Mitchell, in the third quarter. But how would Kelsey Mitchell be able to be Kelsey Mitchell in the third quarter without the assistance of Caitlin Clark, or Caitlin Clark assisting plays to put them players in position? So, roll the clip.
Still got a standard. At least 2 of us know what's going on. Clark at the other end, and it comes out.
It's a great read.
Quickly up court. Here's Mitchell with the launch. Got it. We're back out to Taurasi for 3. Clark with the board.
Diana Taurasi has 48 triples coming into the game.
Logo! Clark with the deep 3. Sweet move.
There's that logo 3 that you've been waiting for.
Clark, nice feed. Wallace with the layup. Cloud missing that 3 ball. And they can get within 1 or tied on a 3. Boston underneath. And it's a 1-point game. Mitchell, who seems to be reinvigorated and revived here in the second half. Clark with the show and go. Mitchell, the 3 ball. Wins. Kelsey Mitchell looked at her wrist and said, I got time today.
All right, here on Caitlin Clark.
Little horn set. Mitchell came off the screen. Clark kept it. Into the corner. Got it! Smith with another J. Haymaker. They blitz her this time. And a nice layup underneath.
Now, as you see that sequence within itself, that how Caitlin and Kelsey was able to navigate the run for the Fever. They also, Caitlin contributed to 20 of the 29 points that was in that quarter. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't even knew this stat was available of them as 3-point shooters for the season. And this is pretty telling itself. Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell has the most 3-pointers, 61 by a duo in Wnba in June this year. And Caitlin has 32, Kelsey has 29. Now, I don't know what the I don't know who has the record, but I'm gonna look it up, because if that's the case, that could be a record that they both set together. Um, so I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. For the month of June, they have hit 32 and 29 3-pointers for the month of June. So that means you have to hit like a clip of 3 a game. 3 a game. To have 61. Just imagine what they shooting overall for the season. But I do believe if Kelsey Mitchell was to re-sign with them, I think their chemistry could build on to something greater next year. Then they already have a year in together and just add a few more pieces. I think with Kelsey Mitchell's age is good because she's not 30. You know, I think she's a year under Kelsey Plum, who thinking she's 29 right now. You know, she hasn't hit 30. So you think about it. If you was to bring her back, you could keep her for about, she'd be for 3 years. She'd be 31 at the end of her next contract. Then you just bring somebody in for the starting role. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to keep Alyssa Thomas, Erica Wheeler, you know, they probably won't be able to sign both of them back. It has to be one or the other. And you could probably get a point guard that could come off the bench. They're gonna be out there. You could bring a young person in. You know what I'm saying? Or you could bring a vet like Sophia Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be people out there. But I think keeping Caitlin and Kelsey together, if you're trying to build this team and build a winning culture of this team, it will be very, very beneficial. Because, like I said, when these two is hot and they in sync with each other, they're pretty much unstoppable. And like I seen it last night, how for the first time Kelsey was, because she didn't have a good first half. She only played 5 minutes in the first half. But the fever continued to stay in the game because there was other things was happening in the game. But in the second half, you saw Kelsey was able to come back in, contribute. Then she was able to play her position. If Kelsey plays her position like she did last night, this team really can excel and go further. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put the ball into your best playmaker's hands, great things is going to happen. And the thing about it is, now that Caitlin's in the WNBA, she don't have to carry a whole team like she did in college. She got playmakers around her that she could rely on. Plus, she could get her points when she chooses to get her points. She don't have to score 40, 35 points a game to win, to have a chance to win. She could score in the low 20s. She could score 18 points a game, 20 points a game, and they'll still be fine. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I think these two have something special. They really have something special. I think that if they continue on, it's going to be where it's much needed. So I'm trying to look at who has trying to have I'm trying to find the stat, but I can't find it. So, but nevertheless, I think Caitlin and Kelsey I think they will grow together. Like I said, I don't know what will happen at the end of the season because Kelsey is a free agent. You know, again, Kelsey is streaky, but when she's on, she's on. Now, like I said, she didn't have particularly a good game against the Seattle, but there's been games that she stayed in double figures. For the last 4 or 5 games, this team has had 4 people in double figures, and that's a good thing. You know, not where you have one person scoring 30 and everybody else. You know, but just know that if these two continue to mesh and continue to grow, you might get to a point where you see both of them score 25 points a game together. That it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. You've seen it with Clay and Steph. You know, it's where you have to take accountability to who you're going to play, and it shows yesterday that in the game yesterday is that you can't just now start to focus on Clark, because in the beginning that's what they was doing. They was picking her up 94 feet, and then her teammates wasn't used to her passing and stuff like that. But now as the season go on, they practice more and everything like this. And I'm saying this to say that once these last 6 games in the month of July happens and they go on this month-long break, they're gonna probably come back more in sync than ever in the second half of the season. And I'm looking to see how well Kelsey and Caitlin chemistry continues to grow. They still got a lot of games to play. You know, they got 6 games this month. You know, some are hard, some easy, you know, could be. But at the end of the day, you are witnessing the new Splash Sisters. Yes, I'm calling them Splash Sisters because they probably going to be before the end of the season. I think they will be the league leading duo in 3-pointers. Caitlin already lead the league by herself in 3-pointers made. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine if Kelsey continues to grow and play her position. I think these two could definitely be the new Splash Sisters. So with that being said, that's my time. Tell me what you think. What you think about these two sticking together for a long run, for another couple of years. Some people think Kelsey is a ball hog, but I think she could grow along with Caitlin. I think they could build a bond that could really help this team. You know, along with a Leah Boston, along with a Melissa Smith, along with a Katie Lou, you know, and, you know, add some other pieces to the mix, you know, with a Timmy Fan Bailey. They could probably re-sign her back. There's a lot of questions with this team going into the offseason, nevertheless. But if you continue to grow with the most important pieces, with the Leah Boston and the Kelsey Mitchell, I think it will be special. So that's my time again. Like I said, until then, have a great day.